What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, some of you guys really don't know about boxing as a business. You may like whoever you like, that's fine. But you don't really understand and appreciate boxing as a business. Sometimes you don't even appreciate boxing as an art. So, the Pacquiao diehard extremist radical fans are everywhere. And the funny thing is, where are you when your Lord and Savior, Manny Pacquiao, goes to fight? Because they just released a forecast of the amount of pay per view buys sold in the Brandon Rios versus Manny Pacquiao fight. And they're saying it's around 500,000 buys, which is an all time low for Pacquiao since he's become a superstar. They date this back to the David Diaz fight, who definitely wasn't a household name. They had similar numbers. Some reports are saying it's 375,000. Some reports are saying it's around 400 to high 400 Ks in terms of pay per view buys. And this is where the diehard radical fans, I kind of have to make fun of you. Um, when Mayweather fought Guerrero, keep in mind it was his first fight with a new network, Showtime. This was his first Showtime fight against someone who really isn't a household name, a tough, good fighter who was on a win streak and had two solid wins at welterweight, Robert Guerrero. But when they were doing the forecast after the Robert Guerrero fight, they're saying, "Oh, it's barely gonna crack a million, or it's not really gonna crack a million." And I seen several comments from people who I know are Pacquiao fans. Like a lot of them had Pacquiao in their name or a picture of Pacquiao or whatnot, and they're making fun of Manny Pacquiao, or excuse me, they're making fun of Mayweather, saying, "Oh, you didn't sell a million, blah blah blah." Now, Pacquiao sold like 500,000, which is horrible for someone of that stature, like a Pacquiao, a Cotto, or a Mayweather. That's not good numbers. You never want to backtrack in the support. The whole goal in the sport, the whole goal is to thrive and flourish. But it's just funny when I think of that because the people who were clowning Mayweather for they said, "Oh, he's not cracking a million," and then look at Pacquiao fight, and I don't hear anybody talking about it. So I'll talk about it. I want to explore the 500K. Um, I want to know how many of you guys actually bought the fight, not stream it, not like illegally watch it or whatnot. How many of you guys actually bought it? Didn't go to a bar, actually bought the fight. Leave a comment. Let me know if you guys bought it. Um, Another thing with Pacquiao pay per views, this is something I will honestly say, and some people think I hate Pacquiao. Whatever. I'm done trying to explain that. I don't hate the man, but I've said this before, and I'll say it again, very firm and clearly. Pacquiao fights have horrible undercard events. That's part of it. You look at Mayweather versus Canelo. Of course, it's going to break records. Aside from both fighters having a huge fan base, and keep in mind, Canelo has a fan base, and this was his first pay per view headlining performance. So keep that in mind. But Golden Boy did a hell of a job stacking that card with fights that we wanted to see. Not all the fights panned out and turned out as exciting as we wanted. Like the Ishe Smith Carlos Molina fight, that was a dud to me. It was boring. I was like doing the dishes and all kinds of extra shit. Um, it wasn't keeping my attention span. But Mayweather and Canelo was a fight that I enjoyed, and Lucas Matisse, Danny Garcia. So I know they put up a pretty penny to get that fight on the fight card with Canelo Mayweather. And even before that, Mayweather and Guerrero was supposed to have Canelo Trout, which would have been another great fight, but due to differences, Canelo pulled out and decided to have his own card. Um, but I think some of that number stems from Pac. I don't know what it is about Pacquiao fights, but the ones I could think of in recent memory, his undercards are just bad. They're not that good. Even the ones that are supposed to be good, like the Marquez 4 fight, yeah, Yuri York Gamboa, and Gamboa's performance wasn't great to me. He was fresh off of like a 15-month layoff. He didn't look good, and I don't know if Rigondeaux was on that fight card. I don't remember what the other fight was, but a lot of the Pacquiao fight undercards aren't that great. So Top Rank really needs to work on putting together a fight card that's worth it. And the crazy thing is they put together, like, just on regular network television like HBO or whatnot, they put together some great cards. I've seen a lot of great cards. They'll have like Terrence Crawford on the undercard, and then they'll have the main event like Brandon Rios Alvarado rematch. They put together some solid cards. But when it comes to your biggest star on Top Rank, at Top Rank, Manny Pacquiao, it doesn't seem like they do him any justice with putting together those stellar fights. Like, how big would it have been to make the Pacquiao fight and have Nonito Donaire and Victor Chinian on the undercard? I'm sure they could have swung that. You got the victims of Typhoon Haiyan, and you have two Filipino superstars fighting together on the same card, which I don't think they've done before, especially as like a main event. So I think that's one of the reasons. Those are just low numbers. Brandon Rios, he wasn't a certified pay-per-view star, which is possible. Another reason why it only did around 500 they're reporting. Again, the final number, the final forecast is not in, but I guess they have an estimate of what it should be, and they're saying it's 500 or less, 500,000 or less, so it's pretty low. Pacquiao getting knocked down his last fight, I'm sure that has something to do with it. And then maybe even the idea that we're going to have this fight in Macau, China. To me, I thought that was going to be big. There's billions of people in China, and I thought more people would probably turn out. But maybe it actually hurt that they didn't have this fight on U.S. soil, because I don't remember a Pacquiao fight that did this low. Um, Let me know what you guys think. 500 buys, Brandon Rios, Manny Pacquiao. Maybe it was the matchup. What do you think was the biggest reason for the low the low number of pay-per-view buys? Was it the price? Was it the opponent? Was it the fact that it was in Macau, China? Was it because Pacquiao got knocked out in his previous fight? What was it? So leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Um, like I said, I just find it funny that people were trying to clown Mayweather for his pay-per-view buys against Guerrero, which did better than this. And it just further lets me know, regarding the Mayweather negotiations with Pacquiao in 2008, 2009, or whatever, when we were supposed to see the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, Mayweather was stern with saying, I deserve the bigger percentage, and wanted more of the negotiating room in terms of saying he's the biggest star. A lot of Pacquiao fans, like, they really disputed it. They were contesting it. They were like, fuck that. It should be a 50-50 split. Why should Pacquiao settle for 40 million and stuff like that? But if you look at numbers like this doesn't really support the things that you guys were saying. You're saying, oh yeah, he should have had a 50-50 split, and 40 mils not good enough. Pacquiao's the equivalent star. He has the equivalent star power, but it's not really supported by these types of numbers. And then you look at Team Pacquiao against Bradley. That fight did like 700 to 900,000 buys. And when Bradley was calling for an immediate rematch, they were saying Bradley can't put ass in the seats. That's why we had low numbers, and Bradley's not a draw. And then you have the Brandon Rios fight, which pulls in less views. So it's kind of like Top Rank Pacquiao, Team Pacquiao. They're kind of taking a loss with this one. If it is true that the 500K is the final number or less than that, so maybe Mayweather had more reason to negotiate and want the bigger purse out of the two, because even in his worst in recent fights, I don't recall a 500,000 buy fight that he's had, even with Robert Guerrero, who was basically in the same boat as a Brandon Rios, someone who's Robert Guerrero might have actually been worse, because out of my casual friends that watch boxing but don't watch it hardcore, I would say more people probably know who Brandon Rios or an Adrian Broner is than a Robert Guerrero, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not just saying that. And Mayweather was still able to crack a million buys or get really close to it if it wasn't, because I don't know if the official hardened in stone number was ever released. So Let me know what you guys think of this. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.